Hello everyone. In this lecture we are going to understand measurement of microbial growth. Let's start our lecture. Let's start with introduction. Now see, the number of techniques are available in order to measure the growth of microbial populations. There are different techniques used for the measurement of microbial growth. Those are useful and efficient in the growth of microorganisms. The techniques are efficient in the way of environmental conditions provided to the microorganisms. All methods are used for the isolation, identification, characterization, and purification of microorganisms. All methods are performed in the lab for the isolation and preservation of microorganisms, but these all techniques were not useful for the all type of microorganisms because of specific conditions used for the each microbe, such as nutrient, pH, temperature, and many other conditions. Measurement of microbial growth is carried out by different methods such as indirect method and direct method. Indirect method includes dry weight and the turbidity, while direct method includes direct microscopic count, membrane filtration, serial dilution, plate count, spread plate count, and pore plate count. Now see, the all microorganisms can be depicted or can be determined with the help of two main methods, indirect methods and direct methods. But only direct method or only indirect method is not sufficient for only single microorganism, because each and every microorganisms vary from each other and they require different specific conditions for their growth. That's what we have to go with these all methods. Now first method is the indirect method. Now in that, dry weight. Now dry weight method is mainly used for the filamentous bacteria and fungi. The microorganisms first grown in liquid medium. After incubation we have to filter it, then dry it, and we have to weigh it. The method does not include any amount of water content in it. How we can weigh it? With the help of this formula. Biomass is equals to dry weight of the paper plus mycelia minus weight of the filter. It is consuming and hence not very sensitive. Second method is the turbidity. As bacteria multiply in a liquid media, the media becomes turbid. Now here we can see the figure. Spectrophotometer, photometer, calorimeter is used in order to measure the turbidity at 540 nanometer or 600 nanometer or 660 nanometer. A beam of light is transmitted through a bacterial suspension to a light sensitive detector. The fact that microbial cells scatter light, tricking them, the amount of scattering is directly proportional to the biomass of cells present and indirectly related to the cell number. The extent of the light scattering can be measured and is almost linearly related to the bacterial concentration at low absorbance level. Turbidity affects on pH and temperature of the microbial culture that we can see in the figure. Now see, the turbidity is the method where we have to grow the microbial culture or the microorganism in a liquid medium, and after incubation we can easily observe the turbidity. Turbidity indicates that growth of microorganism, and that turbidity or that growth of microorganism in the test tube in the liquid medium we can detect with the help of spectrophotometer, photometer, or calorimeter at 540, 600 and 660 nanometer. Now next method is the direct measurement of cell numbers. Microorganisms can be measured directly on the plate or slide, therefore known as direct measurement of cell number. Now here, bacteria counted on the plate counts are referred to as a colony forming units, as a single cell or a clump of bacterial cells can lead to a colony which contains many cells. The colonies, when they are counted in the plate count method, are to be present surplusly for accurate counting, as overcrowding can lead to incorrect counting. To solve this, one has to adopt the serial dilution method in order to get an accurate count. Advantage of this method is to measure the number of viable cells. Disadvantage, time consuming and expensive. Next method is the serial dilution method. Now here, serial dilution is a series of sequential dilutions used to decrease the microbial load. Supposing one has to accurately count the number of cells given in a solution, and then serial dilution needs to be performed. Each dilution will decrease the concentration of bacteria by a specific amount. By calculating the total dilutions, it is possible to count how many bacteria we started with. To find a dilution of a single tube, use the following formula, that is, sample is divided by diluents per sample. To find that dilution for whole cultures, we have to use following formula, where number of colonies on plate multiplied by, in bracket, 1 divided by volume used, multiplied by 1 divided by dilution. Now see that serial dilution is the technique where we can decrease the microbial load one by one. Now here what we have to do, here we have to take sample and we have to take 10 test tubes. Now we have to take 10 test tubes with 9 ml of broth, and we have to add 1 ml of sample in the first test tube. Then this sample will be 10 ml and the dilution will be 1:10 or 10⁻⁻1. Then 1 ml sample we have to transfer from one test tube to second one, and the concentration will be 1:100. Then again we have to transfer 1 ml from second test tube to third test tube, then third to fourth, fourth to fifth, fifth to second, like this we can transfer. The dilutions will be changed. After doing the dilutions, we have to select single diluent from these all test tube, that may be first, second or third, and that diluent we have to spread on the media plate. Then we have to incubate. After incubation we have to count the microbial number. Now next method is the plate count method. Now plate count method is divided into pour plate and spread plate method. Now first we are going to see the pour plate method. Now first we have to see pour plate method. Sample is pipetted out in a sterile petri plate. Then sterile medium is added and mixed well with the inoculum. We have to incubate at specific temperature. After incubation we have to count the microbial growth. Now next method is the spread plate method. Here what we have to do, here sample is pipetted on the surface agar plate, that is 0.1 ml. Then sample is sprayed over the agar surface using sterile glass spreader. We have to incubate it, and after incubation we have to count the microbial growth. Now this is the pictorial visualization of count method. Now next method is the membrane filtration technique. Now this method is used to study if the quantity of the bacteria is very small, as in liquid samples as like lakes, streams, etc. Membranes with different pore size are used to trap different microorganisms. The sample is drawn through these special membrane filters and placed on an agar medium or on a pad soaked with liquid medium. After incubation, the number of colonies can be counted and the number of determined in the original sample. Selective media or differential media can be used for the specific microorganisms. This is mostly used for analyzing aquatic samples. Mostly sand filter and diatomaceous earth filters are used. Now in this membrane filtration techniques, what we have to do, first we have to take membrane filtration unit and we have to add here membrane filter. Okay, then after adjusting all this unit, we have to add the water sample, whatever the liquid sample we have. And after filtration we have to remove this filter paper from here, and that removed filter paper we have to keep on nutrient agar medium. Then we have to incubate it. After incubation we have to observe the microbial growth on the media. Then microbial growth we have to record. This is known as membrane filtration technique. Now next technique is the direct microscopic count. Now here Petrov-Hausser counting chamber is used. It also gives information about the size and morphology of microorganisms. In the direct microscopic count, a counting chamber consisting of a ruled slide and a cover slip is employed. The number of bacteria in a small known volume is directly counted microscopically, and the number of bacteria in the larger original sample is determined by extrapolation. The chamber, for example, has small etched squares, that is 1:20 of millimeter by 1:20 of a millimeter and is 1:50 of a millimeter deep. The volume of one small square therefore is 1:20,000 of a cubic mm or 1:20 lakh of cubic centimeter. There are 60 small squares in the large double-lined square that are actually counted, making the volume of a large double-lined square, that is 1:1,25,000. The normal procedure is to count the number of bacteria in 5 large double-lined squares and divide by 5 to get the average number of bacteria per large square. The number is then multiplied by 1,25,000. Since the square holds a volume of 1 by 1,25,000 cc to find the total number of organisms per cc in the original sample. If the bacteria are diluted such by mixing the bacteria with the dye before being placed on counting chamber, then this dilution must also be considered in the final calculations. The formula is the number of bacteria per cc, that is average number of bacteria per large double-lined square, multiplied by dilution factor of the large square multiplied by dilution factor. Now here we have to keep all the bacterial cells in a squared cover slip, and after that we have to count under the microorganism under the microscopes. So this is all about the measurement of microorganisms with the direct methods and indirect methods. Thanks a lot.